Hi everyone, welcome to today's video and thank you so much for joining me. I'm Lisa with Down to Earth Gardening and Design, and today we're talking about blue Mophead hydrangeas, and we're going to be specifically talking about the why, when, and how to prune them. So we're going to take the guesswork out of it because I think there's some confusion out there on when to prune the hydrangeas. You certainly don't want to prune off your beautiful large blooms. And last year we had an amazing year for these beauties. I'm just going to show you a quick clip because they were so stunning and gorgeous. All the ingredients were right for them last year, and part of it is really knowing how to prune them. So I'm here with my Endless Summer Blues, and this video here will apply to all of your mopheads. So sometimes they're called macrophylla hydrangeas or also big leaf hydrangeas. But hydrangeas, first of all, the timing is really important, and most of our blue hydrangeas flower on old wood, so last year's wood. So you have to be a little careful with them because in the spring, if you're out there pruning, then you will be cutting off your new blooms and you will have zero blooms for the year. And that is super frustrating when you're looking forward to these gorgeous blue blooms. So the Endless Summer hydrangeas, so also a mophead, they're pretty fantastic because there's some flexibility and there's some room for mistake in pruning because they flower on both old and new wood. So general rule of thumb is you want to prune your hydrangeas yearly, and we're going to talk about when in a minute, because you want them to reliably bloom. You want to keep them in shape. If you don't prune them, they're going to be a large tangled mess. So you want to keep them nice and tidy. And you also want to keep them in shape by eliminating any disease, which they're not really prone to a lot of disease if you keep your soil healthy and whatnot, or any damaged wood is probably more of an issue. So you definitely do want to be pruning your hydrangeas. Though when? So we also did a video last fall on pruning and drying hydrangeas, and it was a fabulous year to do it because we had so many. So ideally you want to be doing the majority of your pruning in the summer when they're flowering, right when they're fading. And if you time it right, you can have some gorgeous flowers to dry as well while you're pruning. So now we're going to walk you through the spring pruning because there really isn't much to it. So I'm going to show you how to do that on my Endless Summer Blues right here. Okay, let's get started with our pruning project today. So the first thing I do here is I will forfeit some of the stems that are giving it a weird shape. So I need to be able to get in there to care for this shrub. So anything that is horizontal, unnecessary, and I am going to be cutting some blooms off for the year, but that's okay. We're going to have plenty to work with. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of the undesirables. And again, I'm thinking about shape and just ease of care. It's funny, we have so many clients that love blue hydrangeas, and a couple in particular that they're kind of on the edge of their garden, and every spring we have to go and clip. They were planted a long time ago, so close to the edge that we have to clip the branches so they can mow, and then we can go ahead and make our edge. So in order to work around the area, we have to prune the lower limbs off. So it really is okay to do that. Don't worry about that too much. And a lot of times I will take them all the way down, or if I see something like this here where it's got some new growth, just take it back to that growth that is going in the right direction. Next thing that we want to do is we want to take out anything that is dead. And again, if you do happen to have anything that's dead, damaged, or diseased, we have our 3 Ds that when I talk about pruning, and especially pruning roses, we talk about the 3 Ds. So dead, damaged, disease, you want to get rid of that. So an easy trick is you can just, with your gloves on, just go in and you can check some of the stems, and if they're loose or they snap right off, you can remove them. So this one here is pretty loose, and sometimes they'll just come right out. And so I'm going to take this one back as far as I can. So here's another one, just came right out here. And you can see how I really did have to take some of these branches off just so I can get in here. And then while we're in here, we can clean out some of these faded blooms and some leaves. You can see a lot of the dead stuff here, and you can tell by the fact that the stems are hollow. So nothing's going to be happening there this year, so we can go ahead and take that right down as far as we can get it. Okay, so I'm just going to work on this side for purposes of the video, but after I am going to go ahead and get to the shrub by working on all sides of it. So here you can see another hollow stem that I just took off. Don't feel like you have to take off all of the dead stems if they're really attached, because what I find is some of the new growth isn't as sturdy, and so the old growth that's woody will kind of act like a little cage to support your hydrangea. So meaning if you go ahead and you do too good of a job and you clean all that dead stuff out, you really risk having that new growth just flop. So the old stuff will, if you leave some of it, be hidden in the shrub, and you can kind of cut it down a little bit and it'll act as a natural cage. So that's just a hot tip. And then the next step is really simple. We just want to cut off lightly any of our faded blooms. So just clean it up. And all you want to do is you want to take it down, you want to try to do it on an angle to some healthy leaf buds here. So just lightly pruning if you can. So here's another good stem to show you. So right back. And I know it looks like there's still quite a few blooms left on here, but I really pruned this the end of last summer, and it just goes to show you how many blossoms we had on the hydrangeas last year. So I'm just taking these off right here. Okay, so we're wrapping up our video here, and I do want to say that even though it looks like a bunch of sticks right now, within just a couple of short months, we're going to have some beauties on our hands here. So I can't wait. I love hydrangea season and I love gardening. So I just want to say thank you to all of you watching at home, and if you liked this video and it helped you out, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for some future gardening fun.